Does a truck abandonment stay on your report for 7 to 10 years?
Good people, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year 2026. I wish everybody well. I wish everybody I came across well. I wish everybody that's still rocking with me well. Even the people that claim that they don't rock with me, right? I wish you well as well. All right, let's talk about it. So I got this question that comes from a young man named Joe Madison. What's going on, Joe? I really do appreciate you rocking out with the channel and ask me this question. Now, I talked about this topic plenty of times. I even talked about it in a recent episode, but he wants to know,
does a truck abandonment stay on your report for 7 to 10 years?
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be totally honest with you, because there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to that, right? So I'm just going to say I don't know personally how long a truck abandonment actually stays on your truck or on your DAC report. So let me give you a little bit of transparency, right? So I used to work for this black ops company out in Bolingbrook, Illinois. And it was a pretty good black ops company, I must say. It ain't like the craziness that's going on in Illinois right now. But this particular black ops company was pretty decent. The only thing I didn't like about it was the lack of miles, like literally the lack of miles. Good pay though. Good pay, but the miles just wasn't miling for me. So I decided to jump ship and go with another carrier. Now, when I did that, it was some extenuating circumstances for me to make that move. And unfortunately, it was that time for me to go, and I took the truck back to their yard. Well, technically, it wasn't a yard. It was more like a truck shop / office for them. And that's where I left the truck. I called them up. I said, hey, where do you want these keys? And they was like, well, what you talking about? I'm telling you, I'm about to bounce. I'm done. But here's the truck at the yard in a safe location. Their yard now. It's their yard. And I said, where do you want the keys? Do you want it in the mailbox? Do you want me to leave it up under the mat? Where do you want these keys at? No, just put it in the mailbox and we'll get back in contact with you, blah, blah, blah. And that's where I put it at. I left it right there. Now, mind you, I was still employed with the carrier for maybe about another month before they actually called me up and said, hey, lockout, you've been gone for quite a while. Aren't you coming back? Now, I took my vacation. I had some PTO time. I took that and I took my vacation. And after my vacation, I was still gone from there for maybe about another 2-3 weeks. And that's when they called me up and, hey, bro, ain't you coming back? No, I'm done, sir. So funny thing about it is that I pulled my DAC report that following year, and they have on my report that says something, and the truck was left at a secured spot, i.e. their shop or whatever, but I failed to let them know. And I'm like, wait, no, that's not true. That's not true. I got receipts and everything. I called and I emailed and I texted and I told them what I was going to do. So is it still on my DAC report? Now, I pull my DAC report every year. I don't see it, but for somewhere, carriers could see it. I don't know how all that works out, but But I explained to them what happened. I got the receipts. I send it to them and let them know this is what actually happened. And they be like, oh, well, hey, we understand now. This company trying to blackball you. This company trying to blacklist you. So that's why I said in my last episode that, yeah, having a abandonment on your report doesn't mean that you won't be able to get hired somewhere else. Sir, ma'am, the comment that you came in try to tell me, oh, well, why are you telling people that? It's not true. It is true, sir.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Not only myself, I am with another company, but there's several other drivers that I have talked to that has legitimately abandoned a truck, and they very well are working other jobs. So that's why I said it's a serious situation, because some carriers, like mega carriers, they will look at that and not qualify you for their company, but there are other carriers that will overlook that and still give you a chance. So I guess the short answer in this situation is, yeah, I guess it could stay on there for that long period of time. But the long answer matters a lot more, though. So let's break this down right quick, because truck abandonment gets thrown around very, very loosely. And a lot of drivers get burned by not understanding how it actually works. Let's talk about it.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
So listen, in trucking, there's a lot of confusion between what really happened and what gets reported. See, a truck abandonment is a serious mark on your record. Yes, indeed, it is a serious mark. But it's also one of the most abused labels that black op companies use against drivers. So first, let's just strip away and let's break down the basics right quick.
What truck abandonment actually means?
Well, truck abandonment is simple. A truck abandonment equals leaving a truck or trailer in an unauthorized location without company instructions. That's it.
Cut and dried. That is it.
It means, drivers, that you left the truck, the company didn't know where it was at, or you ignored the instructions on where to return the truck. That's the definition carriers and reporting agency work off of.
What you are supposed to do and leaving a company.
So drivers, what do you do in a situation where you feel jaded, in a situation where you feel upset, in a situation where you feel played? What do you do in a situation like that? Well, me, Lockout Men, I am here to walk through a real world example. So say a driver is done, burned out, fed up, ready to leave. That part is legal. You're allowed to quit. You can quit. You going to quit.
So quit.
Bam. But here's the process that protects you. Now, you notify the company that you're leaving. You tell them where the truck and trailer is at. Usually, the company will tell you where to take the truck and trailer. And that's usually a terminal, a yard, or sometimes a truck stop or a secure location. Now, you, driver, make sure you take every bit of pictures that you can from the tires, from the engine, the bumpers, the license plates, the lights, the inside, the outside, everything. If you have to fill your phone up with pictures from that truck, do that. Don't just stand outside and take a picture here, no. Take close-ups, take the numbers, take everything. Next, try to clean out that truck the best that you can. Even though the Black Ops company is still going to tax you via escrow, or they're going to tax you via truck cleaning. But still, you can clean out the truck the best you can. You don't want to go to the next company and say, I left the truck a total mess. You got pictures, you got documents. You could turn around and show them like, this is how I actually left the truck. And last but not least, you document everything, every conversation, every email, every text, you document it. And if you have to record it, sir, ma'am, record it. Record it. And we're in an era that you gotta record everything anyway. People likes to record. You gotta understand that some states is a two-party consent. Majority of the states are one-party consent. That means that the person that's on the phone, i.e. the person that's actually making the call, is the one that's consenting to the recording. That's it. The other person really don't need to know, because the person that's talking, the person that's calling, the person that's on the phone is the one that authorized the recording. It's a one-party consent call. But you got to make sure that you check the states and stuff like that. Here in Ohio, it's a one-party consent call. I know this, okay? A lot of my calls come from Ohio. 216 in a house, Cleveland, representative, all day, every day. Screenshots, everything. Everything. You need to document everything. Because if you don't document everything, I guarantee you all that's going to come back to bite you in the end. And when it does, it won't be friendly. I tell you that.
What happens when the process is not followed?
Now, here's the tricky part, drivers. Here's where the disgruntled drivers, the had it up to here drivers, these are the drivers that just up and leave the truck and trailer regardless of the fact or whatever. They're done. You can't get me home? Come and get these keys in the truck. I'm in Houston. The truck is in Pennsylvania somewhere. See, when you leave the truck without telling the company, or just drop it somewhere randomly, or just walks off without instructions on where the truck is at, that driver is abandonment. And right there is actually the serious part of this whole situation. Right there, the blatant disregard of the truck and trailer. And here's where it actually will show up. The companies will report it. It will go on your DAC report. It will be a listed reason as a termination, and it will be not eligible for rehire due to abandonment. Every future employee that pulls your DAC report will see that line. And yes, most carriers will pull your DAC report before they even talk to you. That's why you got to have the information when they get the information. You can see what they see. Your PSP report, your DAC report, your motor vehicles report. You can see it, what they see. And that right there, drivers, will definitely help you out in the long run.
Why abandonment hurts so bad?
Well, drivers, I'm going to tell you why truck abandonment hurts, especially when you do it blatantly. See, an abandonment is viewed as a trust issue with these companies. Carriers see it as an equipment risk, cargo risk, insurance risk, a driver risk. So even if you're quote unquote good driver, that one line can shut every last door that you're trying to open, especially in the first few years. If you're a new driver and you just up and abandon the truck because this company ain't paying you well, they're not getting you home, or whatever the case, and you just happen to drop the truck off and say, fuck it, that's where it's going to hurt the most. Now, drivers, let's talk about the shady side of things, right? Let's talk about how drivers, right, really get hurt on black op companies' persistence here. Some black op companies will still mark an abandonment even when the truck gets returned to the yard, i.e. what happened to me, where you actually turn the keys in, i.e. what happened to me, followed the instructions when I was talking to him on the phone, i.e. what happened to me, and the driver would do everything right. But why does these black op companies persist on doing the shady stuff? after you done everything right? Well, drivers, I'll tell you. Retaliation.
Control.
And leverage. See, some outfits don't like when drivers leave on their own terms. Some don't like disputes over pay, escrow, maintenance. Some of these companies just operate, right? So they hit you with an abandonment on your DAC report. See, that's not a mistake, drivers. That's not a mistake that they're going to make it like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to put truck abandonment on. But that's a choice, bro. That's a choice. And yes, it happens more than what people want to admit out here. So let me circle back around and answer my guy's question. Again, Joe, I do appreciate you reaching out to me, man. Hopefully you're a subscriber and rock with the channel. So does a truck abandonment stay on your DAC report for 7 to 10 years? Now, I actually looked it up, and actually I tried to look everywhere to probably disprove this fact. I might still be wrong, so don't quote me on this. Look it up for yourself. I'm going to go with, I'm leaning more towards yes. Because again, I don't see it, but the company still see it. So it's in my DAC report somewhere. When I pull it again this year, I am going to look and call them up or send them an email and probably tell them to give me a itemized report. And itemized report will be something like they'll put everything on there. Now, if it is on the report, here's a few things that you can do, and this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hold off later to tell you what you can do. But what I'm going to do is send an email to HireRight and contest that abandonment. And then I'm either going to call or send an email to the Black Ops company that I drove for years ago and tell them, hey, get that truck abandonment off my report. That's what I'm going to do. But let me tell you what nobody actually explains clearly, right? See, most carriers care the most about the first 3 to 5 years, not the whole 10, but just the first 3 to 5 years on your report. After that, smaller carriers will probably overlook it. Second chance companies may also work with you. And some fleets might focus more on the recent history than your past history. Lockout, what second chance companies that might work with me? Well, I can only think of, I could think of a couple of them, but the one that comes to mind is Western Express. Whew, so many bad reviews about that company, man.
Hold on.
That's for flatbed. You don't have any drive-in positions or reefer position, or do you guys have reefer trailers?
We don't have reefer, but I do have another drive-in position. It's going to be out 10 to 12 days and home 2 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And with your experience, 1, 2, 3, you're going to start you out at 52 cents a mile. And then you'll get a 2-cent raise after 30 days, and that'll be the cap out at 54.
Oh, so even if a person such as my status and a person would maybe 10 or more, they'll cap out at 54.
Yes, sir. But with your experience, if you're interested in down the road about 2 to 3 months, if you have clean driving with us, if you're interested, we do need some dry van or flatbed trainers. Now they make a lot of money. They make anywhere from $1,900 to $3,000 plus a week.
Oh, okay.
If you're trying to get back into the game, regardless of your background, maybe you might want to give them a chance. Maybe rock out with them for maybe a year. Make sure you do some safe driving up under your record, and hopefully you could probably get a better job from that. Whew, yeah, Western Express, man. All right, so again, like I said before, though, a truck abandonment isn't a career death sentence, though, but it is a career slowdown. Pretty much, but it's not a death sentence. It's not a death sentence, but it does slow down. So a lot of drivers hear abandonment and they think, man, I'm done. It's over. I should give my CDL up and leave the industry. Not true, driver. Hold on to them license. Hold on. It's not bad. It's not serious. It's not a permanent exile. Okay? Come back, driver. Come back. Don't throw them CDLs away yet. What hurts the drivers the most is not knowing what's on their record and not challenging the bad reporting. And see, a lot of companies, black op companies, and some above board companies as well, they know that. But see, a lot of black op companies, they count on you to be quiet, to not do nothing, to be scared. But what should you do, drivers? Well, listen, this is what you should do expeditiously. You are entitled to a free DAC report by HireRight every year. Look at the termination reason, the rehire eligibility, and notes about the abandonment. Don't guess. Read it. See, a lot of you drivers don't read the fine print. Hell, y'all don't even read the contract, let alone the fine print. But that's a story for another day. Dispute inaccurate abandonment claims, drivers. See, if the abandonment claim, in your opinion, is false or misleading, file a formal dispute with HireRight. Like I said before, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to file that dispute. They, HireRight, are required to investigate that abandonment on your DAC report. The company must respond. The company that put it on your report has to respond within 30 days. Now, I'm just speculating here that if they don't, HireRight might take it off your report. Don't quote me on that. But see, if the carrier can't provide or prove their claim, then again, don't quote me, but it might be corrected and or removed. Now, this isn't automatic, drivers. You have to push it. You have to push it. You have to protect yourself going forward, drivers. Going forward in this trucking industry, you got to protect yourself at all times. If you leave the company for any reasons and they tell you to bring the truck back, where to take the truck, where to leave the keys, get all that in writing or in a text message, in the email. And again, hit that record button on your phone and let them know, hey, re-recording this conversation. So where do you want me to leave this truck again? Save all of your screenshots. Trust me, females been doing that for years. Guys, be careful what you be texting these ladies, man, because they keep screenshots. They keep receipts. I'm just saying. Record dates, times, locations, everything. Keep proof of the key return. Take a picture of where you left the key, whether you left the key in the truck, whether you left the key in the mailbox, hell, whether you left the key on the lunchroom table. Make sure you take a picture of it so that you got proof that you left the keys. Paper beats memory all the time. And pictures are a necessary expense now.
I'm a businessman. Blood is a big expense.
So, drivers, here's my takeaway from all of this. Always notify the company before you leave, even if you feel jaded, because sometimes you drivers like, hey,
fuck them kids. Fuck the kids? Yeah.
That company. Let them know. Let them know. It ain't gonna hurt to let them know in the text message that your intentions on leaving. Now, let me just stop right there. Stop the show. Stop the show. Stop the show. Now, I always said you don't have to give a company 2 weeks notice, because let me break this down to you. Let me give you a little fact on what 2 weeks notice is, because once a company gets an inkling of your quitting, they got the right then and there to let you go right there. So you tell the company, hey, I'm about to give you my 2 weeks notice. Thank you. Please come again. You might get that phone call from the dispatcher, from the HR, from somebody. And they probably might just tell you right then and there, hey, since you've given us a 2 weeks notice, we're gonna cancel your contract today. Wait, what do you today? No, I gotta keep working until I leave. I need these last 2 paychecks. No, sir, ma'am, dog. We need you up out of our truck today. You don't care about the company, so why should we? So that's why if you have intentions on quitting, it is best to tell them when you're gone. If you're going today, leave today, tell them that you're quitting today. If you're quitting next week or 2 weeks, wait until those 2 weeks is up, because if you need that check, you might want to hold off, right? You might want to hold off. You might want to hold off before you tell them, especially if you need that last few checks. I'm just saying. Never leave a truck without documentation, right? Never leave the truck without them knowing. Keep records of everything, drivers. Pull your DAC report every year, even after the job. Well, I think after you quit a place, they normally will put the stuff on your DAC about 30 days later. I think that's when it shows up, but don't quote me on that either. But still, pull your DAC report after you leave. Dispute any false abandonment claims immediately. See, the truck abandonment is real out here, drivers, but false abandonment reporting is also real out here. Drivers who know the rules survive it. Drivers who don't, those are the ones that get blindsided.